Hello, ma'am.
Oh, damn, I was speaking with the mute button on. Hi, can you hear
Oh,
me?
yes, ma'am. Yes, I joined from my phone because my laptop is about today and there's no power.
Very nice. Shouldn't make me host it. We'll keep the class very short, okay, today. I'm feeling very great. um, we were doing
Yes, ma'am.
session.
Your voice is breaking.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm, I said
My
we'll
phone
keep the
also is
class.
on. My phone also is on 8%. My laptop is on 10%.
Wow. Okay, then your phone. How long will your phone survive?
Ma'am, it will stay, ma'am, for 1 hour.
An hour it will stay.
If I keep looking at screen, it will die. But if I just keep this thing, it will stay.
What are you going to do now?
Ma'am, wait. Ma'am, we'll use my laptop till it dies and then I'll use my phone.
Stay.
I'll join from my laptop because my laptop will at least stay for some time.
Cool. It did have to make me host.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, Akshay, there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yesterday we saw crossbreed cycle, right? So what are
Yes.
the steps of the crossbreed cycle?
Ma'am, first is release of calcium ions.
By
It by sarcoplasmic reticulum into sarcoplasm.
very good.
Then the calcium will bind to troponin.
Mm.
Then there'll be some changes, and the binding site on actin will be exposed.
Okay, what changes are happening there?
Some conformational changes.
Yeah, that means the orientation of the what is changing there?
Actin,
Uh-uh, not the entire actin.
the binding
Something.
site on actin.
No, no, no. There was
Mm.
one thing that moves because of which the binding site is seen. What is it?
Oh, the thing that covers the binding site.
Mm. What is it?
Troponin.
Troponin is the lid-like structure which is on something, and that thing is only covering it. It's a strand-like structure. What is that strand called?
Oh, it's also called tropo something only.
Tropo what?
That whole the helical line that runs along the thing, no?
Correct. What is it called?
Tropo. Tropo.
Myosin.
Tropomyosin.
Don't forget these two terms. Why? Because they're asking you the options. No, they will give you both troponin as well as tropomyosin. So you should not choose troponin. No. Okay, so remember, troponin is like a lid-like structure which is on top of this particular tropomyosin. So when it moves, even the tropomyosin also will move. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Next.
Next is this thing. What do you call
Uh,
it? After that, this will happen. ATP will bind to myosin.
mm,
Myosin ATPase site.
okay.
And that ATPase site is present on the head of the myosin.
Okay.
Then ATP will get hydrolyzed.
Mm,
And myosin will bind to actin.
mm.
Using that energy in the terminal phosphate this thing, myosin head will pull the actin filament, and because it uses some energy, it is known as power stroke.
Okay.
Then ADP and phosphate will be released.
Okay.
Then fresh ATP will again bind to myosin head. Once the fresh ATP binds, myosin will detach itself from binding site of
Mm.
actin, and then again myosin will hydrolyze the ATP, and myosin will again bind to actin. Cycle repeats.
Very good. So you got that idea of it, right? Now tell me what is the structure of the skeletal muscle.
Structure of
Skeletal muscle. A muscle will consist of what all till the actin myosin breakdown. And where is the picture?
oh, I sent it to you yesterday. No,
Where?
with that note screenshot.
You
Oh,
send me
muscle structure also I should send.
cross-bridge cycle. You didn't
Oh,
send me the breakdown.
ma'am, I remember the breakdown by heart.
But I want you to send it also.
Okay, ma'am. See, ma'am, that
Tell me.
whole thing is called this thing. See, so structure of muscle fiber. Okay,
Hmm.
so that it is made up of a group of muscle fiber.
Okay. What is a group of
It is
muscle?
surrounded by that connective by epimysium, and then that whole thing is covered by a sheath called fascia.
Okay.
And when you remove the epimysium, there is fascicle, which is bundle of muscle fibers.
Okay.
That fascicle is covered by perimysium,
Okay.
and then within this thing there is each muscle fiber
Okay.
within the fascicle that is covered by endomysium,
Okay.
and that has myofibrils,
Okay.
and then actin and muscle, actin
What
and myosin.
what is this actin? What is myosin? And where is it present?
Thin myofibril is actin and thick is myosin.
Okay, very good. Okay, good. Now, do you remember what is Z line, M line, A line, I line?
Z line is the crisscross line present in actin. M line is the middle line present in myosin, and the place where it doesn't actin doesn't overlap the myosin is called head zone. And then between two successive Z line it is sarcolemma. And when
Sarco,
muscle contracts,
lemma,
sarcolemma
va?
length decreases. Sarco
What did I say? Lemma means.
sarcomere.
Ah,
When muscle
sarcomere.
contracts, the length of sarcomere decreases. Head zone also decreases.
Okay, the functional unit of contraction is
Sarcomere.
okay. And what is the head A band? What is the I band?
I band is isotropic band, that is the actin, and A band is anisotropic band, that is the myosin, and actin is light band, myosin is dark band.
Okay, very good. Good boy. I'm proud of you.
Everything I remember.
Very nice.
My
Yeah,
power only came back after I told her that correctly.
oh wow, nice. Okay.
My power is like I've become too good in biology. It's time to bring the power back.
Don't jump, okay? Same thing question I asked you after someday you should be able to again say. Okay.
Wow.
Today we will see the sliding filament theory. Fine. So sliding filament theory, as the term suggests, sliding means over one another, they are going to slide. And
Yesterday
filament.
we learned about contraction. Today is basically relaxation.
No. We didn't yet learn about contraction.
Oh, sorry. Yesterday we learned about cross bridge cycle.
Cross-bridge cycle. So what is a cross-bridge cycle is? See, your entire myofibril is made up of several actin and myosin. Yesterday, we saw that how one actin and one myosin are going to interact with each other, and that will result in a major contraction. Okay, so when we look into an entire myofibril as a whole, okay, that time it will look like the actin and myosin are sliding over each other. But why are they sliding over each other? It is because each actin and each myosin are forming a cross-bridge cycle. So these are not two different processes, okay? Please understand that.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Did you get this logic?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, so sliding filament theory is a theory which explains how contraction of the muscles happen on a whole, not just the cross-bridge cycle alone they form. Okay. So what is going to happen here is that, so normally if you see, this is how the actin and myosin is going to look like. There is a space between the two Z lines.
Wait a minute, there's a space between the two Z lines.
Yes.
Wait,
Okay,
Z line, and where's the other Z line?
The other Z line is not marked, but it is there in center of actin. Can you see?
Got it.
This one.
Got it.
Okay.
But there's no crisscross.
When we express it in like this form, no, when we are explaining theory, we generally don't put the crisscross,
Hmm.
but it's actually a zigzag line.
Hmm.
When we are writing this filament theory, we just write it as like single lines. We don't put crisscross.
Hmm.
It's just a representational difference. That's it. Okay. So now what is going to happen is once each actin and each myosin is going to, okay, which is on top? Actin is on top or myosin is on top?
Actin is on top.
Actin is on top, right? So what is going to happen here is that, let me just draw this for you and show. Okay. So here, suppose, let's say this myosin, this is the head.
Hmm.
Can you see? Okay.
Wait, which is the myosin, ma'am? 1 second, repeat.
The blue color part.
Blue is myosin, actin is red. This thing, red, I know that.
Head, yeah. I have drawn a head-like structure. Can you see?
Hmm.
It
One
has
blue color
binded.
circle you have drawn.
Yes, correct. So that's basically nothing but head of this myosin. Okay. Now this is binding to actin. Okay. So what is going to happen is once it forms, so all the myosin will bind to actin like this. See, got the logic?
Wait, ma'am, what? The circle in between actin and myosin is, it will slide over it.
No. This is not a circle. This is the head of the. Okay. How does myosin look?
Like
It will-
cobra, like cobra.
Exactly. So it will have a straight line and then it will have a
And a
head.
head.
Yes or
Okay,
no?
that is the head of the myosin. It will pull the
Yeah.
actin. Yeah, we know
So
that
the
much.
straight line, since it is already there, I'm not drawing the straight line. I'm just drawing the head alone.
On the head.
Yeah. So the head is basically going to bind to the actin, which is on top of that myosin. Yes or no? Okay. So like this, there will be so many cross bridge cycle that will be formed. All these actin and myosin, what is going to happen now is that as the contraction starts, okay, they will also start pulling themselves. So how will they pull themselves? So initially, if they are, this one was, sorry, 1 second. So now it is going to they're going to have the power stroke. When they are doing the power stroke, what is going to happen? Who's going to be pulled?
Actin filament.
Actin filament will be pulled. So it will look like this. See, can you see the gap between the two Z line has reduced? So initially the gap was very huge. See, this was the gap between the two sarcomeres when there was no contraction. Okay. After all the myosin head and actin has binded, slowly, what is going to happen is that this sarcomere length is going to shorten. So here, if you see, it is already decreasing slowly. And
Yeah,
finally,
we know that sarcomere and H-band length will reduce.
correct. Yes. So what will happen is that it will look like as if the actin is sliding over myosin. Doesn't it look like that?
Yes, ma'am.
That is the reason why this is called a sliding filament theory.
Wow.
And when this has happened, it means that contraction has happened.
So when it slides over it, it means contractions happened.
Yeah. So technically, how is the actin able to slide over the myosin? It's because the
it's getting
myosin.
pulled by the myosin head, no?
Yes, correct. Okay, so the sarcomere distance is going to reduce. That means you can say that the muscle has contracted.
Contracted, okay.
This logic is understood?
This is only sliding filament theory. Okay. Then one more point I wanted to tell you. What was the point? I think that's it. Okay, now we come to the relaxation process. Okay, so till when does the cross-bridge cycle happen?
Cross-bridge cycle happens until calcium ion thing stops.
Calcium ion is present in the sarcoplasm. So if the concentration of the calcium ion decreases in the sarcoplasm, what is going to happen is that a relaxation process will happen. So relaxation is going to be just the opposite. So the calcium will leave the troponin.
Oh.
So when the calcium leaves the troponin, what will happen? It will again change its shape. As a result of which the tropomyosin will come back to its original shape
Hmm.
and it will cover the active sites.
Wait, this Ca plus will be from sarcoplasm. It will be again to sarcoplasm reticulum.
Yes,
Then again, tropomyosin will cover all active sites.
yes,
And then Z lines go back to original position. So relaxation will take place.
correct. That's it. Okay. So this is the entire muscle contraction process. I hope you understood this well. Because from this region, not direct questions are asked, like kind of twisted questions are asked. Like, say, for example, they will ask you that which of the following remains the same, the length of which of the following remains the same even during contraction. They'll give you options like sarcomere, I band, Z line, A band. What should your answer be?
Which of the?
Which of the length of which of the following is going to reduce during contraction?
Reduce
band?
sarcomere.
Sarcomere will reduce? Yes?
Yeah, correct. Correct.
Then, yeah. If like say, for example, if they are asking which will not reduce, then what will your answer be?
A band.
A band. Okay. So like this, they will ask questions related to this particular region. So you should also know. So, and also they'll ask you what will happen when the concentration of calcium ion in sarcoplasm is high and in calcium ion concentration sarcoplasm is low. Okay, so that is the reason why I kept telling you the calcium ions move from sarcoplasmic reticulum to sarcoplasm. I kept mentioning that because these kind of questions are the ones that are asked from this region. Okay, now the next thing that you need to understand is, I hope you know the difference between tetanus and tetany.
Tetanus is the infection.
Are you sure?
Tetanus.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am. Tetanus is that infection. No.
Then what is tetany?
Tetany is also that infection.
No, that is where everyone goes wrong.
No, tetany is the
Tetanus.
infection.
No, tetanus is a different condition. Tetany is a different condition.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Tetanus.
tetanus, as you said, is the infection. Okay. Yeah. So basically, tetanus is an infection which happens like because of a tetanus bacteria. Okay. But tetany is not a infection. Okay. It is basically related to the muscles. Okay. So how it is going to be related to the muscles is what we are going to see. So like in the beginning of this chapter, I mean, when we started this particular thing, I told you about this title here is wrong. Okay. Don't go with the title. It is not tetanus. It is tetany. It ends with a Y.
Oh,
That's
okay, ma'am.
Cross check whether that is correct or not, but it's wrong. Okay, so tetany is like when you're given an impulse is when the muscle contraction will start.
Ma'am?
Like how does this calcium ion get released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum?
Stimuli.
By a stimuli, that is that nerve impulse has to be given, yes or no? Okay, so when the nerve impulse is like given, that time what is going to happen is that some like no under normal circumstances it will be given for few seconds and then it will stop. So when the impulse is given, what is going to happen? This entire process of cross-bridge cycle and sliding filament theory will happen. Once the impulse is stopped, everything is stopped. So the muscle contraction will happen only for a few seconds. But imagine a condition where the muscle contraction is going to happen continuously. Imagine a condition where the muscle contraction is going to happen continuously without like much of a gap.
Then gone, no.
Then what will happen is it's called twitching. The muscle will keep on contracting. So what will happen? That person will twitch. And that is called as tetany.
Oh, twitching. Oh, yeah. It will go side, no.
Yes, this question also always asked. So what is the difference between tetanus and tetany? You need to understand. Tetany is related to muscle. Tetanus is the condition related to the bacteria.
Hmm.
Okay.
Tetanus is condition related to bacteria. Tetany is twitching related to muscle.
Yes. Okay.
I'm a pro.
Yes, you're a pro. Good. Good. Okay. So this is what you need to understand. Yeah. What is the answer for this? Stimulation of a muscle fiber by a
Neuromuscular
motor.
junction. We learned it last year.
Very good. In humans, during muscle contraction, the dash.
Sir, actin filament shorten, no. A bands remain of same length.
Very good. Okay. Now, the next thing is lactic acid formation that results to muscle fatigue, which we already studied in which type of respiration.
Anaerobic.
Very good. Okay. So that is what is mentioned here, how this muscle fatigue is happening. Okay. Then. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so these things are like not very important for you. So it's okay. We can skip it. Just see which is. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so normally we are having like muscle fatigue when we exercise, correct or not? So this portion actually explains like what is the difference between. So that means that a person who's an athlete, okay, will have constant muscle fatigue because they're constantly running and doing exercises, right? But that isn't the case. How is it that it is different in them? How is it is different in a normal human being? So to explain that is why we are actually learning about this. Okay. So when you talk about, we learned about muscle fibers, remember? So in the case of muscle fibers, there are two types of muscle fibers. One is called as red muscle fiber and another is called as white muscle fiber. Okay, so what is the difference between this red and white muscle fiber is what we're going to see. Red muscle fiber is too red in color because it has a lot of blood supply. Okay, isn't it a logic thing? If there is a lot of blood supply, that area will be more reddish, correct?
Correct.
So out of the two muscle fibers, that is red and white, the red one has more blood supply. And when we have more blood supply, that means it's more oxygen. Okay. The next one is the so what happens is that if there is more oxygen, then there will be more mitochondria and there will be more respiration. That means chances of that person getting muscle fatigue is lower than that of a person who does not have much of red fibers. Did you get the difference?
Wait, one more time you repeat.
Red fibers are basically going to have a lot of blood vessels. So whenever there is a lot of blood vessels, that means oxygen supply is also more.
Correct.
If oxygen supply is more, will anaerobic respiration take place or aerobic respiration take place?
Aerobic.
Aerobic respiration will take place. So therefore, will there be a lactic acid deposition there?
No.
So that person will have, like if they have more red fibers, chances of them getting the fatigue is low, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is a reason, that is a difference between a sprint, a guy who runs faster, that is the sprint runners and a marathon runners. People who run fast, okay, generally have more red fibers than the people who are like slow runners or average human beings like us, who are not athletes. That's the reason why when we start exercising, we get muscle fatigue. But a person like the sprinters are there, no, they don't get any muscle fatigue like that often like us, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference is they have more red fibers than the normal marathon runners and human average working human being. Did you get the difference?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that is what they're trying to say here. What is the answer to this? Red muscles have abundant?
Not lactic acid. Mitochondria.
And
Myoglobin.
yes, mitochondria and myoglobin. Okay. Myoglobin is nothing but like the red color is because the dark red color is because of that myoglobin. Myoglobin is a protein. It is similar to that of your hemoglobin. Okay.
Okay.
But what is the difference between myoglobin and hemoglobin is myoglobin is present in the muscles. Okay. And it's also, say, we learned the structure of hemoglobin, remember? The quaternary structure, there will be 4 chains and then there'll be iron in the center and all we studied, remember?
Circulation.
Circulation, biomolecules we studied.
Wait. Wait. How, ma'am? Tell something about it. I'll tell correctly.
Then it is basically made up of 4 protein chain, alpha 2 alpha 2
Alpha, beta, and the alpha protein, beta hemoglobin.
that only.
And then
So
that it will cause thalassemia. Thalassemia.
okay, so basically,
Thalassemia only, no? Alpha thalassemia, beta thalassemia.
thalassemia only. So basically, there is one more protein called as myoglobin. Okay, which looks very similar to the structure of hemoglobin. It also has 4 protein chains and all those things. But what is the difference between hemoglobin and myoglobin is hemoglobin is present in the blood. Myoglobin is something that is present in the myo means what? Muscles, right? So myoglobin is a store, does the same function as hemoglobin, but it is present in the muscles. Understood? So what is the basic function of hemoglobin?
Blood pigment, red color, carries oxygen. Binds oxygen.
Carries oxygen, exactly. Same way, myoglobin is going to store a lot of oxygen in the muscles.
Okay.
So a
Hemoglobin
person,
is in blood, myoglobin is in muscles.
yes, exactly. That's the difference. So a person with ideally with a lot of like the sprinters, they are going to have a lot of myoglobin. Then like that is it. That is why like every day they run so much also, they are not going to face that much fatigue like us. Understood the difference?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's it. Like sliding filament theory is over, crossbreed cycle is over, and yes, so these 2 sessions we have finished. So I hope, any doubt till now?
No, ma'am. Whatever you told, I remember like crystal clear.
Please do
Yesterday's
remember
everything I
it.
told you.
Yeah, later on also you should remember.
Yes, ma'am.
We just have like around few more sessions left out in this chapter. Let me just see how many are left out. There's only 2 more sessions left out.
Tomorrow and day after.
Yeah, we can finish this chapter.
Done, ma'am. Now I'll go off and eat lunch.
Okay, then take care. Bye.
Today I'm planning to go to Cambodian restaurant and eat lunch.
Okay, enjoy. Have a nice lunch.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.